Welcome friends, I'm Robyn and this is a 20-minute yoga mat class. So if you're at home, I would encourage you to maybe, if you have yoga blocks, great. If not, maybe find a couple books and just have them nearby. Our yoga blocks serve as a prop to help get us closer to the earth. So they're a great asset for when we fold over our body, we can find our books or our blocks. So get creative, get your props, and we'll get going. So we're gonna start with some breathing, very simple. So get in a comfortable seat. If this is comfortable for you, this is called Sukhasana or crisscross applesauce. Easy pose is the other name that we call it in yoga. Or you can extend one leg out away from you. And close your eyes. Notice your breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathe in and out. A couple more times. Pulling the breath down into the belly. Letting the breath rise all the way and emptying fully and completely. Swallow, release your throat. Move your jaw around. Bring your palms together. And I want you to take a moment to set an intention for this practice. Your intention can be a mantra. I am love, I am light, I am walking away from anxiety, I'm walking away from fear, or I am here. It can be anything. When you have your intention for this practice, gently take your chin to your chest. Having an intention for your practice helps keep you focused on why you showed up, why you're practicing. Keep the breath fluid. Blink open your eyes and reach those arms up overhead, bringing the palms together to heart center. Any modifications you need, range of motion is important, so if it's midway or all the way up, that's fine. Hands to heart center. I'll show one midway, and you just bring those hands to heart center. All right, bring the hands to the knees, and we're gonna take some circles with our spine. You're gonna roll forward and exhale, take it back, create a C shape with the spine, a rounding in the spine, and then pulling forward from the heart. Nice and easy. If you're having trouble sitting in this pose, you can slide a block underneath your knees, and that kind of helps with some support. And we want to go the opposite direction. Let's help the hips open. All right, back through center, sit up tall. All right, we're gonna twist to the right, exhale. Think about lifting and opening through your collarbones and twisting from the belly. Come back through center, then go over to the other side. Find your breath. Come back through center. Extend your right leg out away from you and bring your left foot in. Again, if you need a prop underneath your knee, you can slide the block or book underneath your knee. If this leg has a hard time straightening, that's fine. You can slide a block underneath the extended leg. So what we're gonna do, walk our fingertips forward a little bit. So again, you wanna find your range of motion. So if your range of motion is here, that is fine. We're feeling a stretch through the back of the hamstring. And we're finding that breath and letting it guide us. So if you want to hinge forward a little bit more, if you want to round that spine, you might feel your shoulders pull away from you. And the belly will push down towards the spine. And you'll feel a stretch in the back of the hamstrings. This is called forehead to knee. All right, sit up. And then we're gonna switch it out very slowly. Again, you can slide a book or block underneath your outer knee, maybe a book or block underneath this knee. Again, we'll sit up tall. And if this is as far as you go today, that's fine. If you wanna see if you can walk those fingertips forward, walk those fingertips forward and be with the breath. We have a propensity to hold our breath, and we want the breath to be fluid. So listen to the breath and let it guide you. And then if you feel like you'd like to round, feeling a nice stretch in the low back, the upper shoulders, the back of the hamstring. And then sitting up, good. All right, move the blocks out of the way. You can grab hold of the back of the knee, sliding that knee in. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Again, blocks, great tool. So your heels can be out far away from you. Again, your range of motion is the most important thing, or the heels can draw in. You wanna sit up tall, and I want you to just kind of take that spine and move it back and forth. And this, again, allows the muscles just to slowly release. We don't want to force the stretch, we want to relax into the stretch. If you want to stay up and lifted, great. If you want to round forward and get that spine rounded, this is again a great pose for the hips, for the low back, inner groin, and shoulders. Slowly lift up, bring your hands to the outside of the knees, draw your knees in, send those legs out away from you and give your legs a shake. I like to encourage my students to take their fingers and just run them up the legs, getting the blood flowing. All right. Finding our way to tabletop pose. If you have sore wrists, you can place maybe a blanket or pillow underneath your hands. If you have sore knees, you can also place a blanket or pillow underneath your knees as well. Have your props ready for you. So we want to make sure that the wrists are in line with the shoulders and the knees are in line with the hips. You can leave the toes flat or you can tuck the toes. I like to tuck my toes. Bring your hand to your belly, draw your belly in, and then bring your hand back. And we're just going to move back and forth, feeling the weight in our hands, all right? And then come to stillness and push your hips to the right, look over the right shoulder, come back through center, push the hips to the left, gaze over the left. Again, come back through center and push the hips to the right, and then come back through center and push the hips to the left. Come back through center. We'll do some cat-cows. It's a great warm-up for the spine. We'll drop the belly, lift through the chin, and then push the mat away from you. Round your spine like an angry cat. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck that tailbone, round the spine, look back at the navel, and dropping that chest wall forward. Lifting through the heart, let it shine forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round, cat back. Come back to a nice neutral spine. Take your knees to the outer edge of the mat, let your big toes touch. Maybe grab a bolster or a block or pillow. Sit your heels back on your hips. If they're lifted, that's fine. And let your belly hang between your thighs. Maybe rock those hips back and forth. You can stack your fists on top of the other if you don't have any blocks at home. If you can, get your forehead to the mat. Bring your forehead to the mat. Child's pose. Breathe here. And then look forward. Move your props to the side of your mat. Take your hands, handprint forward. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Grip the mat with your ring finger and your middle finger and push down into your pointer, finger, knuckle, and your thumb. You're gonna draw those hips forward. Take your knees back just a little bit. Tuck your toes and then pike those hips up and back for downward facing dog. So the big thing with downward facing dog is we want the shoulders down away from the ears. So I'm gonna demonstrate having a crunched shoulder, so my ears aren't even probably visible to you right now. And now I'm gonna pull them down onto my back, and I'm gonna drop my hips side to side, maybe pick up one heel, pick up the other. So you wanna think of a nice V shape. Look back at the navel, and then look forward. So the weight really isn't on the wrist. The weight is up, lifting up over the hips. All right, just kind of move that down dog out, and if at any point you need to get out of down dog, you can sit back on your hands for a moment, or your heels, not your hands. Sit back and then maybe come back to it. All right, find your foundation first. Start with the hands and then pike those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And look forward to the top of your mat. We're gonna step forward very slowly. Grab your props. I would encourage you to take your blocks to the high setting. Bend your knees, maybe open your feet a little bit, make room for your belly and your torso. Bend the knees and let yourself drape forward. This is a forward fold. Move the hips side to side. Feel the weight distribute into both feet. If you feel open, maybe take your blocks down a notch, or maybe to the low setting. Whatever you do, I encourage some sort of support. You want those shoulders down away from the ears again, so the neck is long, and just move back and forth. All right, from here, press your feet firmly into the ground, squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other, and you're gonna lift up through those arms, take your hands up overhead, bring your palms together, and bring your thumb to the heart center. This is a sun salutation. So we'll break it down. Palms together. Lift your arms up. You can modify if you need to. All right. Hands to hips. Bend your knees. And you're just gonna take your hands down to the block as you exhale. Press your feet into the mat. Rise up all the way. Again, modify if you need to, bringing your palms together, bringing the thumb to the heart center. What I'll do is face forward for you so you can see what it looks like facing forward. Arms out and away, hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, hinge forward, and bam, there's your hands to the block and fold. Push your feet into the ground, rise up all the way. Bring your palms together and bring the thumb to the heart center. One more time, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring those hands to the hips, bend the knees, hinge forward, forward fold. And gently sway side to side here. All right, push your feet into the mat firmly, rise up all the way, lift up through your fingertips, bringing the palms together. All right, bring those arms out to cactus. All right, we're just gonna see if we can get our fingertips together and take a little tilt over to the right, and come back through center, and then over to the left. If you need to modify, your fingertips can come to your shoulders. And we're just gonna do a little crescent moon here. So your body's kind of creating a slither of the moon, just back and forth, side to side. I'm gonna feel a nice opening through that side body. You can also extend your hands out. All right. Bring your palms together to heart center. Take your feet to the outer edge of the mat. Palms are forward, fingers are down. Lift up through the crown of the head. Draw the belly in. And I want you to think about lifting the kneecaps so your quads are engaged. Push your feet into the ground, mountain pose. So this is an active pose. It's also a resetting pose. Come back to the breath. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, turn your feet out just a little bit. I'll move my block out of the way, my props. So feet are a little bit out of hip distance, toes are out, heels are in. The toes don't have to be way turned out, so just make sure that you feel comfortable. All right, bring your hands to your hips, squeeze those elbows on the back, and lift up through the heart. Press into your big toe and your outer pinky toe. Feel the heel of your foot, and then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna do 5-pointed star, reaching those arms up and away. Exhale, hands to heart center. And you can modify, hands can be here, and hands to heart center. You can also put a soft bend in the elbow if you need to. And then hands to heart center. 5-pointed star, and hands to heart center. Again, take your hands behind your hips, lift up through the chest wall. You can stay here, or maybe lift your chin. Breathe. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take your right arm underneath your left arm on top. Take your chin to your chest and gently rock side to side. Bear hug. And then open those arms out. And then opposite arm on top. Give yourself a bear hug. Take the chin to the chest, rock side to side. And then find your mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And bring the hands to the hips. Heel toe those feet in just a little bit. Take a circle with the hip. All right. Let's take those feet out again, toes out, heels in. Make sure you feel steady in your foundation first and put a slight bend in the knees. Goddess pose. Straighten the legs and then bend back into the knees. So you want to make sure your knee is tracking in line with your big toe. All right. So you just want to slide into those knees. Find your range of motion. And then see if you can bring your palms out, bending the elbows, spreading the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Straighten your legs. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees. Cactus, your arms. Hands to heart center, straighten the legs. Good. Bend the knees. Cactus, your arms. Bring your hands to heart center and straighten the legs. Hands to hips, heel toe those feet into hip distance. Shake it out. And we're gonna do warrior two. I wanna show you standing warrior two. We start from Tadasana, which is mountain pose, okay? Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, step the feet in. I'm gonna turn and face this way. Bring the hands to the hips. The left toe is gonna stay pointing to the front of the mat. Right toe is gonna step back. Right foot is gonna face the length of the mat. Straighten the left leg and check in. So the left heel should be in alignment with the right foot arch. Then bend into that right knee. All right. So we want to make sure our shoulders are in line with our hips. So sometimes we tend to hinge forward, but we want to bring that back. Straighten the left leg first, and then bend back into the left knee. Send the arms out away from you. And look back at the back fingers, make sure they're activated, and the front finger. Straighten the left leg, bring your palms overhead. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale, straighten and reach up. Exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale, straighten and reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, turn the left toe in, and then you're just gonna pivot the right toe. Right toe is gonna face the length of the mat, or the front of the mat. Left toe is gonna face the length. Bend into the left knee, check in with your alignment. Shoulders in line with hips. Belly is drawing in. And then shoulders down onto the back, sending your gaze over your right fingertips. Maybe checking back at that back hand, making sure it's fired up. Straighten the right leg. Bend back into the right knee. Straighten the right leg. And then bend again. Now we'll incorporate the arms. You're gonna straighten and bring the palms together. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, reach up and straighten. Exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale and exhale. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten that right leg, turn your right toe in, heels to the feet in. Take circles with the hips. And just breathe here. This is a great hip opener. Heels to the feet in even more. Turn to face the top of the mat. All right. We'll turn to face the top of the mat. One more sun salutation. Reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your knees and just fold over those thighs. The deeper the bend in knees, the better the low back. Good. You're gonna bring your hands to the floor, step one foot back, release the knee, the other foot back, release the knee, come back to tabletop, gently knock those hips side to side. Cross your ankles, sit back on your bottom. Reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And one more. Hands to heart center. Take a moment. Let the breath slow down a little bit. Feel the heart rate come down. Take your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Feel yourself grounded. Thank yourself for showing up to this practice. Namaste.